right, so again, we said the y-intercept is where the graph crosses the y-axis. And again, if we look at a visual representation, there's our axes, and then that point that's crossing the y-axis is our y-intercept. Okay? So there are two ways we can actually find the y-intercept algebraically. One way is if it's in slope-intercept form. To find the y-intercept line, you can write the equation in y equals mx plus b form. Because what letter in y equals mx plus b represents the y-intercept? The b, yep. Your y-intercept is the b. The other way that we can find the y-intercept is we can substitute in a number. And if we look on our y-axis, notice our y-axis never goes left and right. Okay, so if we're not going left or right, what value always has to be 0? Which value goes left and right first of all? X or y?
X.
X goes left and right. And if we're not going left or right because we're on the y-axis, that x value always has to equal 0. So the other way we can do it is we can substitute 0 in for x. We always want to write our answer as an ordered pair. Just like when we were graphing and I always said y-intercept is 0 comma something, it is a point on our graph. So our y-intercept always has to be written as an ordered pair. Now our x-intercept would be where the graph crosses the x-axis. And so if I draw a graph now, that point right there is where it crosses the x-axis, so that would be our x-intercept. There is no letter in y equals mx plus b that represents x-intercept. Because remember, m is slope, b is y-intercept. So there's no x-intercept. So there's only one way for us to find the x-intercept. And on the x-axis, we're not moving up or down. So what value would always have to be 0 to find that? We're not moving up or down. What value is up or down? Y. And if I'm not moving up or down, the y value would always have to equal 0. So to find the x-intercept, we plug 0 in for y. So a little trick you can remember is you're always plugging 0 in for the opposite letter. For the y-intercept, we're plugging 0 in for the x. X is opposite y. And then for the x-intercept, you plug 0 in for the y. Opposite to x is y. Again, you always want to write your answer as an ordered pair. Okay, so our examples, it says find the x and y intercepts for the equations below. Example 1, what do you notice about example 1? What form is it already in?
Y equals mx.
Y equals mx plus b. So the y-intercept's pretty easy for this one. Because what number in that equation represents our y-intercept?
5.
5. So all I have to do is say, all right, 0, 5. Remember, if it's in slope-intercept form, our y-intercept is the b. The x-intercept isn't quite as easy because now there's only one way to find our x-intercept, plugging 0 in for y. So I'm going to do 0 equals 1/2 x plus 5. And we're solving for x now. So to solve for x, I want to subtract 5. And I would get 1/2 x equals -5. So how do I undo multiplication by 1/2? Think of it as divide by 2 maybe. How do you undo division by 2? It's the opposite of division. Multiplication, so we can multiply by 2. So 2 times 1/2 is 1, right? If you have $2 and you split it in half with your friend, you each get $1. So that's what we want. 1x equals -10. And so our x value is -10, and again we put the y value of 0 in. So -10, 0 is our x-intercept, 0, 5 is our y-intercept. Notice how we wrote those as ordered pairs. And if you double checked and you actually plotted those points, they would be, this point is 0, 5 on the 0, 5 would be up here. That's on the y-axis. -10, 0 is over here. That's on the x-axis. For example 2, what form is example 2 in? Standard form, right? So can we just look at it and get the y-intercept for example 2? No, right? We were able to look at the equation for example 1 because it was in slope-intercept form. So since it's not in slope-intercept form, to find the y-intercept, we're putting 0 in for x. All right. Oops. And again, always kind of remember, opposite letter equals 0. So to find the y-intercept, we're doing x equals 0. And when I want to find the x-intercept, the opposite to x is y. I'm going to put 0 in for y. Okay. The nice thing about standard form is once you put 0 in, it does make it kind of easy to work with. I'm going to do 4 times 0 plus 5y equals -10. All I did again was put 0 in for x. Yeah. Create a pass and I need to sign your pink sheet. 4 times 0 is 0. So we get 5y equals -10. And then we divide by 5. So we get y equals -2. Again, that must be written as an ordered pair. We said that the y was -2, so that's our second point in the ordered pair. What x value did we put in there?
0.
0. For this one, again, we're putting x-intercept, we put 0 in for the y. So I would do 4x plus 5 times 0 equals -10. Five times 0 is 0. And bless you. Then we would divide by 4. Four does not divide evenly into 10, but we can reduce that fraction. What divides into 10 and 4? 2. So -10 divided by 2 is -5. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So we reduce that to -5/2. If you type that in the calculator, you get -5. That's fine also. Alright, last thing we have to write as an ordered pair. The x value is -5/2. The y value we plugged in was 0. Alright, take a moment, try example 3 and 4. 3 again is in slope intercept form, so 3 is like example 1, 4 is like example 2.